Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Ondiavari Presents, the series where... Whoa, let me just stop myself right there. This episode is going off from our usual creepy stuff to bring you something a little bit different. Before I tell you about it and why, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification, share, and thumb the video. Now, this week's video is for a special fan. She has to deal with a very, very difficult person. So this goes out to you, Senpai's mum. Enjoy. Okay, this is a long one, so buckle in. A couple of decades ago, when my best friend and I were 19, she was dating this guy. Let's call him Greg, because that was his name, and I don't believe in protecting the guilty. Seriously, fuck you, Greg, still. So one night my friend gets off work early and decides to go by and surprise Greg because her schedule has been crazy and they haven't seen a lot of each other for the last couple of weeks. They had been dating about 6 months at this time. The following is a compilation of the story as told to me both from my best friend's point of view and from Greg's roommate's perspective. My friend gets there, knocks on the door, and the roommate yells, "Come in." She goes in the house and he just looks at her kind of shocked and says nothing. She thinks he might possibly under the influence of some substances and just goes along to Greg's room. She opens his bedroom door to find him on top of another girl. So she is confronted with the sight of his bare ass wedged between this chick's legs. She had stopped at a gas station and gotten a 32-ounce soda on the way to his house, which she immediately threw all over both of them, turned around and stormed out, never to return. The roommate tells me, at a party 6 months later, that after this, the girl that Greg was fucking comes out, struggling to get her clothes, dripping with soda, and screaming at Greg. He is wrapped in a bedsheet, following behind her, trying to make pitiful excuses. She starts beating him with her shoe because she didn't know that he was seeing someone and is not pleased about wearing that someone's drink. She also storms out, never to return. Greg is dead to us. Fast forward 6 months to the summer. I am dating a guy that lives in the fraternity house that was kind of the animal house of our local state college at the time. They are known for their crazy parties and antics. Nothing destructive, but they got a little loud and rowdy a lot of the time. Now this house was 3 stories, had 2 bathrooms. One was on the first floor just next to the staircase leading to the second floor. The second floor bathroom was kind of tucked back out of the way and the majority of partygoers were not even aware it was there. So frequently, there was a gigantic line for the downstairs bathrooms during parties. And those of us who knew the house would go to the second floor, where there were usually only 1 or 2 people, tops. We had been at the party for a couple of hours, so I was a little drunk and probably a little high. Okay, definitely a little high. Suddenly, I see Greg's roommate, who is very drunk. He comes over and says hi. And since I have no beef with him, I say hi back. He then starts regaling me with the story of the aftermath of my best friend's departure from the house that night, and how this girl made sure that everyone in her friend circle knew what a piece of shit he was. So he had been having a hard time finding a date. Greg's roommate thought this was hilarious, but all it did was rekindle my ire. An hour later, I am coming up from the basement where the music and dancing is going on to use the bathroom. And who do I see but Greg? I might have mentioned that Greg was dead to us, and Greg really should have had the decency to stay dead to us. However, Greg's extremely drunk ass wandered into this party looking for his roommate. Greg had clearly made many serious mistakes up to this point, but this is where he made his fatal error in judgment. Greg spies me, and apparently in his inebriated state forgets that A, my very best friend in the entire world, my sister from another mister, walked in and literally caught him naked with someone else ass hanging out and balls bouncing. B, I am a petty, vindictive bitch. If you do something to make me hate you, I will hate you forever. And I hated Greg. Greg comes up to me and asks for my help. Before I can start screaming obscenities at him, he tells me that he's really drunk and needs to find a place to pass out, but he cannot find his roommate to take him home. He asks if I can help him find a place to sleep where no one will see him, because he doesn't want his roommate to get mad at him for passing out at this party. His roommate had several friends in this fraternity. He really wanted the keys to the roommate's car to pass out there, but couldn't find the roommate. I am extremely proud of my ability to assess the situation and come up with a plan of action quickly. It is kind of one of my strong suits. Greg was about to discover this. I put on my nicest retail face and told him, sure, I would be happy to help him. So I took him outside and put him underneath the edge of this huge group of lilac bushes. I told him no one would be able to see him from the street or the front yard, so he would be safe there and he wouldn't have to worry about his roommate seeing him passed out in someone else's bed or on the floor or couch and making fun of him. This made perfect sense to his drunken ass. What I knew, and Greg did not, was that when the downstairs bathroom had a huge line and the upstairs bathroom was occupied, the members of the fraternity house would go out to the fire escape and piss off it directly onto those bushes. They refer to it as porch piss. For the next 2 hours, I maintained a post right next to those stairs, and anytime I heard one of the guys headed upstairs talking about needing to piss, I would run up those stairs so that I could get to the bathroom before them, ensuring I would hear porch piss yelled out from the hallway as they headed to the fire escape. It happened at least 15 times. I spent so much time in that fucking bathroom that night, just sitting on the edge of the tub, reading the articles in Penthouse. I slept over at my boyfriend's that night. At about 6 a.m, someone was banging on the door. That someone was Greg, covered in dew and frat boy piss, trying to figure out what the fuck had happened. He didn't even remember getting to the party, let alone that I had helped him by finding him a place to pass out. There are about 15 of us sitting around the kitchen, hungover, some still drunk as we hadn't actually gone to bed yet, and drinking coffee when this happened. After he got done with his confused ramblings, he asked if anyone could give him a ride home. And I said, "Nah man, you smell like piss." Of course, everyone, including him, assumed that he must have been so drunk that he pissed himself while he was passed out, and called him Piss Boy for the next 3 years of college. But I knew that wasn't his piss. Fuck you, Greg. You are dead to me. I have to say that as far as revenge goes, this is one piss funny way to get it. I do hope you enjoyed this change of pace. Let me know if you'd like to see more like this in the future. Also, what do you think of the new intro splash? Thanks for watching. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on most social media and even chat with me over at the Outcast Discord server. If you really enjoy what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon from as little as $2 a month. There are rewards, sneak peeks, and other Patreon-only exclusives. There is now official Join the Cult merch available from Teespring, so be sure to check that out too. All links are available in the description below. Thank you again, and remember, it's always scarier when it's real. Good night.